So I'd like to call to order the May Facilities Committee meeting for the Cheltenham School District. And I'm going to first start with a roll call. I will go down the list as listed in front of me. Mr. Cohen.
Present.
Mr. Fishbein.
Present.
Ms. Henry.
Present.
Mr. Schultz.
Present.
Ms. Mulhern.
Here.
Ms. Henry.
Still here.
Got it. Mr. Epps.
Present.
And Mrs. Haywood, who is not with us today, and myself present. Thank you. Secondly, may I ask for a motion for the approval of the minutes from the April meeting? Oh, Mrs. Haywood just arrived. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. All right,
So moved, Zachary Epps.
I
Or were you going back to roll call? Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, we're good. We can keep going
Okay.
from there. I can return
Yeah.
back to roll call, no problem. So I believe that there is. Oh, and looks like Jenny is having some technical difficulties. Okay. But is there a second to Mr. Epps first?
Second.
Great. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, sounds like that motion passes unanimously. So back to the roll call quickly, just for clarification. Ms. Haywood has joined us, and I believe Ms. Lohman was with us for a moment, but is no longer with us at the time, but we will affirm her presence in the meeting once she gets back in for our records. Otherwise, I will hand it over to Ms. Harding and Mr. Holman for our presentation.
Good evening. I would like to welcome all members of the board, executive staff, and members of the community to the May 3rd, 2022 facilities meeting. Here we have a mission and vision statements. Please feel free to read at your convenience. This is just an update from last month. All the hazardous material has been removed. What's remaining? This is all the latex products that you see in the middle slide that are left that we have to open up to let dry out because when it dries out, it's not hazardous any longer. So it has to dry out. I have seen the results of it not being able to dry out, and you have multicolored streaks as it's leaking out of the back of a trash truck. But I digress. So the next slide. Here's an example of low-hanging fruit. So as you see, the overhang was discolored, peeling. So we painted it Cheltenham blue, and it's going to get CHS on it and paw prints on it also. The next slide, please. The steps of the admin building are finally repaired. There was one day that my name was mud and admin due to all the jackhammering, but that one day inconvenience provided a finished product like this. That was, yep, there you go. So they had to come out and put the railing in once the concrete cured, I'm sorry. Our next project is, yep, this has made the queue. These are the exterior steps of the EP. If you lean against the railing, the concrete base poses a fall risk. So we're currently looking for prices now. We've so far gotten two. One is replaced in kind for $140,000. That's both the stairways outside. The next slide, please. So over spring break, we had the opportunity to do some deep cleaning in some of our schools. and also some training on floor machines. So we chose the high school to start with. Here, this is the lobby, the terrazzo flooring lobby that you guys all know so well. There's between 80 and 100 coats of floor finish on there, floor finish, wax, dirt. So this is not my opinion. Floor expressors have said this, that was there that day. And as you can see the difference, we will be getting this looking, looking new again. So next slide, please. I received an email from a parent of an EP student on April 11th. She had some very valid concerns, and I echoed those concerns. Knowing that spring break was on the horizon, we took the opportunity to blitz the building. I hope that upon one of their visits, we have shown what we can do, also what to expect. Like I said in my response, just because a building is old doesn't mean it has to be dirty. The expectations must be raised. Next slide, please. The Winco piping is on site. However, we will have to wait until after PSSA is completed to have it installed. We ran into supply chain issues that caused the delay. The contractor is set to return the 9th of May. Next slide. Last month's meeting, school board member Ms. Merhorn made a comment about what are we doing to protect our buildings, especially Cedarbrook when it comes to further damage. I'm sorry, from while we're waiting for litigation to take place. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, I was just alerted to an abandoned car on our property, so I apologize about that. There was an accident outside, and that's where they told it to. So last month's meeting was a concern from Ms. Mulhern about what we're doing about protecting our investments, protecting our buildings against further damage while we're waiting for litigation to take place. Well, I didn't want to comment then because we were in the middle of building a wall, a berm. And if you notice, you see the water going to the drains. So that night it rained pretty severe. Nowhere near, let me reiterate, nowhere near how it rained that day at Floodic. But I have pictures of that, and I know that wasn't the case there. So what we have is we have the ability to stop our Cedarbrook from flooding in the event of a moderate to severe rainfall. So having that being said, that's how we're protecting ourselves going forward. Next slide, please. Next, there's not another slide? Not okay. So the next slide was slide 12, school due report, 558 closed work orders for the month of April. That concludes my, there it is.
And just real quick before Mr. Burdell Williams starts to field questions from the board, there will be an executive session that we're attempting to set up for either June 1 or June 2nd with Mr. Diazio with an update on where we are specifically with CBK and some of the questions that you've raised as members. So just wanted to put that out there before you even ask that question around next steps with where that situation lies. All yours, Mr. Burdell Williams.
Mr. Holman, did you want to review the school? Thanks, Dr. Scriven. Mr. Holman, did you want to review the school do slide? I know there was a little bit of a technology glitch there.
Yeah, so last month we were able to close out 558 work orders. That's also including our preventive maintenance work orders. You know, it's a balance to be able to do project work and also do the PMs with the manpower. But we're as I'm adjusting, this is month 6 for me, as I'm adjusting to the team and they're adjusting to my work, you know, how I operate and my expectations. We are definitely on a uptick as far as amount of work being produced.
And just for the board, PMs is the preventive maintenance. I know sometimes we don't always give you the acronyms.
I apologize. So that concludes my report.
All right, that was very efficient, Mr. Holman. Thank you for the presentation. So I'll give the board an opportunity if they have any questions. Please raise your hand. I'll call you in the order that I saw hands go up. Julie and Leah were racing and it seems like Julie was first. So without true video evidence, I'm just going to go with my gut. So Julie, please take it away. Ms. Mulhern, sorry if you were actually first, but Julie, all yours for now.
We'll have to race later, Leah. Thank you very much, Mr. Holman, for your report. Could you go back to slide 11, please? Yes, I just wanted to understand. So at the left hand of that slide, the berm you're talking about, are those kind of looks like cinder blocks on the left-hand side?
These were, as Sergio Stiletti, who's the assistant director here, he and I went to the site and we looked at the grading of the site, right? So what we did was we had pavers on hand. So that is the side of the building where the steps are. I have a video, but I'm unable to share it. Anyway, I digress. But so if you notice, if you know where the steps are, and you can imagine that expanse of grass there that is running downhill. Well, we built the berm from there, up the steps, down the walkway to where, as you see in the left picture, where that water is gushing down, and then it runs into the grass. Those two drains work, so we're focusing the water on there. Now, again, I will not speak to it being effective during a torrential downpour, but these are kind of nuisance storms that cause us the grief and the headache on a day-to-day operation, as far as getting things cleaned up and preventing mold from growing. But if I don't think anything will stop until it's corrected. Will stop a once in a lifetime storm.
But
this is my opinion. Yep.
Yeah. So this would redirect the water. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So and on the right-hand slide, that's before the berm.
No, that's after the berm.
That's after the berm.
That's after the berm, where it is where it is running down the drains.
Okay.
And so I was, Dr. Scriven will tell you that. Matter of fact, this was the night of, what night was this, Dr. Scriven? Is he there? Is he there?
I think he went off camera.
Okay, so this was a night of some event at the high school, and I came out at 10:30 just to check on it, and it was working very well. And I had asked, matter of fact, during the day, Principal Metcalf came up to us and said, man, this would have flooded any other time. So that's what we're doing to protect the issues that that we have, and protect our investments, so use that money somewhere else.
Yeah, thank you very much for explaining these two slides. I wasn't sure
Mhm.
what I was looking at, and I just wanted to clarify.
No problem.
And
No problem
then
at
I
all.
just wanted to note, thank you so much on slide 12.
Mhm.
What I saw was slightly new, were related articles as part of the school dude and kind of a training query. So, I don't know if folks are taking advantage of that, but that seemed to me to be an enhancement to school dude that maybe I didn't notice before.
It's always been there. It's just something that yeah, this is a new different screen that we have that we put into the presentation this time. That's all. But it's always
Okay.
there. Mhm.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Bernard Williams, thank you for your grace in signing me in as president when I was a couple minutes late. So thank you very much, and I appreciate everyone's grace for my tardiness.
No problem, and thank you for your question. I think we're still getting used to managing that kind of stuff via Zoom, even after like 2 years of doing it. So I could have failed miserably, honestly, but I tried to catch every comment as they were coming in. And yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for making an effort to be here, even that it's grateful. We're grateful for your presence. And Ms. Mulhern.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Holland, for the presentation. Just for clarification's sake, I do think that the question raised at the last meeting regarding Cedarbrook was from Ms. Lohman. I don't think I
Okay.
made that comment, but just it may be neither here nor there, but just for clarity's sake. My real question / comment is just to thank you for the work done at EP and then the high school as well, that low-hanging fruit. I think that that's going a long way for our students and staff. It's definitely noticed and appreciated. I did happen to be at Elkins Park School today for a teacher appreciation event, and the building was looking sparkling. And the teachers and staff also really appreciated another one of those low-hanging fruit projects, which is not noted in this presentation, but painting the teachers' staff lounge
Yes.
just over this last weekend. Really, I will send the board a picture, but it really, it a little bit went a long way. And so thank you, certainly was appreciated.
I appreciate that, and I'll let the team know that you liked it also. So.
Yeah, we noticed, the staff certainly noticed and felt loved and special. So thank you.
Yep, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just one kind of clarifying question for me. I don't see anything from any other board members. Mr. Holman, just in regards to School Dude, do you have an idea, or can you share with us? And if you don't have it right now, that's fine. The total number of preventative maintenance work orders that are completed versus not, right? So like right now, it's two things that are coming up to me, right? Is how well are we doing with being able to execute the preventative maintenance work orders in the specified time frame, right? Because normally they're on a periodic basis, right? 1 month, 1 week, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. How well are we doing with that? And then additionally, if we were to take all of the work orders that we had, right, like what percentage of them were preventative maintenance? So what percentage of the total? And if you don't have that right now, maybe it's just something we can include in previous or in future presentations.
Gotcha.
Just trying to understand more. And this is just one board member, but I think it'll add a little bit more context to the work that we are doing, and might better reflect the fact that we are pushing to maintain our buildings, and this is why, right? This is how or why.
Yep. I will get that to you next month. Yeah.
I think it'll add some depth.
That's fine.
Just to better explain personally. And I don't have anything else. And if I don't see any hands from the board, so going to go out to the community. If there are any questions from the community, please raise your hand at this time. We will ask the meeting host, not the chair, because I don't know how to do that, but I'll ask the meeting host to unmute you and allow questions at this point in time. If you cannot, the CSD school board meeting comments is still going as an email address, I believe, but okay, I don't see any hands. Okay. All right, I will take that for nothing further, and unless there's any other commentary for the good of the group, we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So
Thank you.
moved.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, I guess we don't have to vote, but I asked for it, so.
Aye.
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 All right. Thank you, Mr. Holman, and looking forward to next month's meeting. Thank you all that you do for the school district.